you, Sir John. It was a pleasure to serve on your chairmanship. And I want to begin by thanking my honourable friend, the member for Chichester, for securing this very important debate. And it was really interesting to hear the honourable member mention M25A3 Junction 10 in my constituency, which has taken many years and caused all sorts of challenges for my residents. But as it comes closer to completion, it is really good to hear from both colleagues. It's amazing how many MPs are interested in that project at the moment, and regular users the difference the upgrades are making. And I really hope the project will show the potential for major long-term infrastructure improvements, but also the learning points. And these learning points must be taken because we need to recognise the disruption it has caused to residents, but also the significant financial problems it caused to local businesses and the national charity RHS. Now, there are many issues across my constituency that I could raise in a debate like this, but today I want to focus my comments on Guildford Town because it demonstrates both the enormous opportunity and the significant strain facing transport networks across the South East. Guildford is a thriving economic hub. It's home to a world-class university, a rapidly expanding research park, a major regional hospital, and a highly productive local economy that continues to attract talent and investment. But that very success has created real and growing pressure on our local infrastructure. Road usage is exceptionally high. Congestion continues to worsen, with some residents telling me it takes them an hour and a half to get the hundreds of metres between the research park and the hospital junction. And too many residents are feeling they, even with all the congestion, they have no real alternative to relying on their car. We have dual pressures. The strategic importance of the A3 and A31, and I imagine many in this room will have travelled down that particular major artery, but also the concentration of employment, education and housing growth that is not matched by the increasing public transport capacity that will support it. And this isn't just local complaint or anecdote. This is a challenge recognised at a national level. The Wessex Corridor study commissioned by Network Rail explicitly identifies the corridor between Reading, Guildford and the wider South East as experiencing rising demand, constrained capacity and major unrealised potential. The study makes clear that without targeted intervention, housing growth, employment expansion and limited rail capacity will lead to worsening congestion, increased car dependency, which we absolutely do not want, and missed opportunities to shift journeys onto sustainable modes of transport. So that is going to bring me to the long-standing case for Guildford West Railway Station, serving the Research Park, Royal Surrey and the University of Surrey, plus the surrounding communities. This is an idea the community has been waiting for well over a decade and could demonstrably have an enormous impact on congestion, access to important services and our local economy. And of course, it would also make an environmental difference in helping everyday travel patterns shift away from car dependency and towards sustainable transport. And I'm personally very committed to getting an answer on this scheme for local people and businesses. And just last week, I was pleased to bring together key delivery partners, Guildford Borough Council, Network Rail and South Western Railway to discuss the viability and next steps. But despite the overwhelming case for Guildford West Station, delivery remains painfully difficult. Network Rail does not fund new stations. Department of Transport funding has become more restrictive, and at the same time as the government has set ambitious housing targets, there is no dedicated centralised funding pot to deliver transport infrastructure required to support the homes we are building. Local government finances are stretched to breaking point. Councils are being asked to plan for growth without the funding or the powers to deliver the infrastructure that the growth demands. So no matter how much local need or enthusiasm there is simply not enough money to deliver the projects that are needed. And of course, we must remember that sustainable transport is not just about rail. Too many residents are forced to drive simply to reach the station because bus services, ticketing systems, cycle routes and secure bike storage remain fragmented or inadequate. And we also need to remember that this disproportionately impacts disabled people, low-income residents, students and young people, anyone without access to a car. So I want to close by asking the Minister a couple of questions, if I may. What is the government going to do to support communities like Guildford that have been formally identified as critical growth corridors? Why is there no centralised funding mechanism to link mandated housing growth with the transport infrastructure needed to sustain it? And how can areas like Surrey realistically unlock growth without clarity on governance, funding or long-term support? My constituency of Guildford has great opportunity, but it needs government help to unlock transport projects to support economic growth and community growth. And I really hope the Minister will have heard my comments today and those of my colleagues and will respond positively to this request. Thank you.